Okay. You know, your case, I think the reason why they want you to keep coming was because you're on bond. The case has not been indicted yet. What is indictment? How is it?
I'd rather stand.
Okay. Yeah. Indictment is the will. That's how you bring up cases to the felony court.
Well, now, I was told last month that I was coming here today to be told that it either A, went to the grand jury and
yes, it's gone to grand jury.
And was sent through and said yes, send it to trial, or it was no bill and said throw this trash out.
No, it said for hearing today. So we will not know. Today is what? Wednesday. We will not know until by Monday because it takes them at least 48 hours after the hearing to make a decision whether to indict or not to indict. Okay?
Okay.
It has some funny. I was talking to the prosecutor and we were laughing about it. In the sense, according to them so far, the Jeremy, the stepson or whatever, said there was no entry to the building, there was nothing disturbed. Then, a day later, they called back again and said some documents, tax documents were taken and some publications online or Facebook.
By the way, I should mention the house is vacant, as you can see on realtor.com. It's for sale.
As of when? As of when? As of when? As of May 3rd or May 2nd?
Apparently a while, yeah. I don't know the exact date, but
years, yeah. When he showed up
and she's asking double the price of what it's worth, so it's not going to sell.
Okay.
And it's vacant, and they're insane. And there's something else that you need to know is that being here in Dallas is making me physically ill. Not just the environment and the toxins in it, but also the fact that I just had another family member who I think is influencing this family member to do what she's doing, call, and he is a witness to this, called my former employers at CBS Portland and had me fired, quoting the stock that she just inherited the night before when my aunt died. This was New Year's Eve, this past New Year's Eve. It's an enormous amount of CBS broadcasting stock. Now, interesting thing about that, I did my due diligence, and there in the 1969 merger agreement between the Dallas Times-Herald and CBS Broadcasting and the Los Angeles Times, which resulted in this little happy marriage, it says specifically in there that no heir of my grandfather's may ever do anything with that stock besides enjoy the money they get off of it. They may never use it to vote with. They may never use it in the form of nepotism to get someone hired, themselves, a friend, or get someone fired. And she called the station manager of where I was working as an evening news anchor and got me fired. Now, obviously, this guy didn't know that. So this in and of itself is some sort of Securities and Exchange Commission level crime. I'm not a financial. Not only that, she then made a second phone call to my case manager at the Los Angeles Department of Health and Human Services and impersonated a Texas Department of Corrections officer and said that I've already been booked and I'm in prison, and therefore this is just a formality to let you know to cut off his GR and his food stamps and his Medi-Cal. Now, this is very bad because I'm HIV positive.
Did you call them back to let them know?
Yes, and they will not deal with it until I can get back to California.
Okay, so
and the longer
when do you plan to go back to California?
I don't have the money to get back until I'm done with here. Okay. I can't go back and forth between California and Dallas. I can't afford it. Okay. And now they've cut off my health insurance just to be spiteful, just like this is all about. And in 25 days, I no longer have insurance to get a $4,000 prescription.
So what do you want me to do now?
Well, I think that they need to understand that my health is now in peril because they did this malicious stuff,
Mr. Wright,
and it's a third-degree felony in the state of Texas to call and impersonate.
Mr. Wright, please. It's very unfortunate that they're putting you through all these things. Okay, I gotta empathize with you.
Thank you.
The issue on the ground now is you have this alleged burglary of habitation. If nobody was living there on May 2nd, 2019, it's not going to be a habitation, it's going to be a building, which is a stage of felony. That's if you get indicted.
Isn't the fact that you just said yourself that they changed their story twice now enough? Why is this still going on?
No, because you have not been indicted. Everybody can say anything. The reason why we come to court is because of what? Disagreement as to what happened.
I know.
That's why we come to court.
It makes me feel like I'm being made to be stuck here.
Well,
and it's ruining my company.
I don't know how to handle it without the case, Mr. Wright.
You may need to get through that will.
And I'm very sorry for what is happening to you. But
Well,
at the same time, honestly,
Stop.
honestly, what I can do for you is if you plan to go back to California, I can reset this case for a month. That gives you the chance to go to California, settle there, and get a lot of issues resolved.
I can't afford to do that.
And come back. Otherwise, we gotta hang around until we know which way this case is going. By Monday, if the grand jury decides not to indict you, you're a free person.
Wonderful.
Okay.
You can go your merry way. Nobody cares anymore.
Right.
But if they indict you, then we have to fight it out in court, because that's what we do every day. That's why people come to court, because there's a disagreement as to what they're saying and what happened. Okay? I was asking the prosecutor because they said you came back, the Miss Deals, Pamela said you came in, you entered into the building to steal her tax documents, and then you took her personal information and put it on the net so people can use her identity to defraud others, and you wished her death on a video or online or Facebook. We're not talking about those because we have to go through the normal process. Now, the issue is the way the law defines burglary of habitation. Burglary of habitation is entry, number one. Someone else's habitation, that's where the person lives, without the person's permission, with intent to commit theft or assault or any other felony.
But they've already said I didn't.
Hold on. Now, the law defines theft as to taking somebody's property that is of value. Now, if I leave my tax documents here and you take them, the issue is it of value or not? Is it something I can easily get another copy, or what was the intent? That would be another issue, if what they're saying is correct. I'm not endorsing what they're saying. I'm just telling you how the law works.
I took no tax documents because there were none, because the house was vacant.
Correct.
And I didn't enter it.
Secondly, if her basis of saying you took tax documents is because you put her name and her social security online, this is their mother. You have you know who she is. You know her information. Right. So you don't need to take tax documents to know her information.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So there are a lot of issues here, but let's not go there yet, because there is no indictment pending on you.
The only thing I'm having difficulty understanding is why I have been made to continue, why this has perpetuated and just gone on as long as it has already, as silly as it is.
Now, the law says, the way the law works is, if you get arrested and charged of a felony offense and the case gets filed, there has to be an indictment returned by the grand jury of the county before the expiration of next term. Now, there are two terms, grand jury terms. We have what we call the January terms, and we have what we call the July terms. Okay, the January term runs from January to end of June. The July term runs from beginning of July until December. Now, this case happened May. It was filed May this year. Now, May is within the June term, so one term has expired. The next term is December, which is where we are now. So they must return an indictment before the end of December. Okay? Now, they say
I thought you said Monday.
I know why I'm saying this. Okay. Now, the case is scheduled for grand jury hearing today.
Okay.
So by Monday, or before Monday, we will know what happened.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because the reason why I was saying that, you said you wanted to know why the case is, prolonged this long. Then I was explaining to you how the system works.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and bear in mind that I've been dealing with California, living there, learning that law for 10 years, and I've fallen out of touch with Texas law. So forgive me for that.
No. You that's an intelligent question. You have to ask questions. Right. That's why we're here.
Well, there is a question. The very first thing I would insist on any of this, if it is to go so much as 1 inch further, is I know in Texas state law, I have the right to confront my accuser.
Correct.
And I want her produced into this courtroom to confront.
Correct. That's when we set it for trial.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we go to trial. That's the Sixth Amendment to U.S. Constitution. Gives you the right to confront your accuser.
So do you? Is that something that you inform her of before it does?
If she doesn't come here, the case gets dismissed.
Okay. Okay. Now I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Because also, just interesting little side fact. I had a woman approach me during my time living in Los Angeles. She identified me as my long-lost half-sister. She gave me very compelling evidence and had other witnesses also assist her in telling me this story, who were government officials, so that as professions, so they were credible to listen to. And I am told that this woman here was a surrogate. She's not my actual mother, and that basically
she's not your biological mother.
Don't have any paperwork or anything.
Right. So I would then secondly request, if she does produce herself, which I doubt she will, but if she does, I would request that I would like a DNA test done.
No, the issue, we're not in a family court to determine paternity.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is to find out if on this alleged date of May 2nd, 2019, you intentionally, knowingly, without anybody's consent, entered into this building with the intent to commit theft or felony. That's why we're here. Okay, so that's what we deal with. Okay. Today is the 25th. Okay.
And actually, I think I remember that. I think there was something when I read the report that went through my head. Like, wait a minute, the date of this is wrong or something. Like, she got the wrong date. What if she did indeed report the wrong date, and then say hypothetically, I can get receipts? Like, no, I was here at this time. I was.
The way when the indictment comes, I'm going to show you how they draft it. They don't particularize a given date. They put on or about. For example, they put on or about May 2nd. Now, the law says 30 days difference, 2 months difference is okay. But if it goes beyond that, then that becomes a question. Okay?
Yeah.
That's why they draft it on or about. They don't have to specifically state the exact date. So, unfortunately.
Well, the exact reason why I want to confront my accuser is because I've read that when I was allowed to read, I'm not allowed to have a copy of it, but I was allowed to read the police report she allegedly made. I'm here to tell you this much that I know about this woman. No matter how mad or happy, sad, glad, whatever she is, whatever the emotions in her crazy head are, she always speaks in perfect debutante, which she was debutante, Queen's English. And the language that I read in that was very uneducated and
the issue is, now, and where you're coming from is, if she has a written statement, but when witnesses talk to police officers or law enforcement, they take notes, and then they go and write it using their own way of writing, and then they phrase it
Yeah, but
in a way.
I was told by the police that this was all given through a phone call.
Yeah, but
No, that's what I'm saying. If I'm talking to you on a phone call, I'm taking
And
note.
what I'm saying is, I have reason to believe that this may not even be her. It could be a different family member that's impersonating her.
We should not worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want you to know
Okay,
why I'm
I
thinking
know,
that.
because when we come to,
has to
if shove comes to push, and we have to bring her here, and if another person comes, you know who she is.
Yeah.
It's what I'm saying. So let's not
Right, don't panic
worry
over
about
it.
all
Okay.
those incidentals. We take care of it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Sign here that you are in court today. That's all you're doing. We're not doing anything. You see, we are put to waiting for the indictment out of the grand jury on October 10th. So if by Monday, and you're not indicted, I'll let you know, and then you can go to California the next day. Okay. But if you get indicted, we'll be back here on this date, and then we start talking about what we're going to do with them.
Well, I can guarantee you this, if by that time they should make some crazy decision as to actually proceed forward with this garbage.
Of course.
They should know that the judge, the DA, police chief, everybody all involved, my Hollywood activist friends that I work with, are prepared to fly in town and make sure that their next elections, they don't win.
I agree with you. I don't have a problem with that. That's the way to do it. Strategy.
Absolutely.
You do whatever you can.
This is a democracy.
All right. Thank you for waiting for me. I was in Collin County.
No problem.
Thank
And,
you.
I'm glad.
I'm glad you made it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks a
I'll
lot.
take it.
Oh,
I
okay.
broke the glass.
Oh wow.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
I have a first question. By any chance, were you related to the Queen of Sheba?
Am I into the?
This is James Wright calling for Gabriel. Is he in? Because I still have not received a call back from him.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you.
I'm calling because I still have not received a call back from Gabriel, my attorney, about my court date tomorrow.
What's your name?
James Wright, Wright.
Okay, yeah, no, he has a jury trial this week. He hasn't even made it into the office yet today. He just barely got out of court, so he won't be in the office until like another 30 minutes.
Okay, I mean, well, will he be able to please call me?
I've left him the message here. I know we received something from the court yesterday, something that you were going to protest on the 7th floor.
Oh, well, I had a little event thing for, like anybody who wants to come and press-wise, yeah. Because this is concerning my family, so it concerns the local press. The two are synonymous.
Okay. Yeah, we got the email yesterday, so I mean, he knows about it. He didn't come into the office yesterday till like after 5:30 as well, and he has like 3 clients here waiting right now for him.
So what is this notice of protest? Because this is actually pretty funny, because there is no protest, and I mean, I fully intend on showing up and going through whatever ridiculous ritualistic motions we have to go through to put an end to this garbage, but if there's additional shenanigans that come out of left field for no reason after he himself said that this was all debunked and baseless, then why are we still here, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, most likely he might have to reschedule your court date just because I'm not sure what went down today with the jury trial. He's been doing this jury trial since Monday. I'm not sure if it ended today or if it's still continuing tomorrow. If it's still continuing tomorrow, he's probably going to have to reschedule your court date.
So am I not going to court tomorrow? I mean, I'm just trying to...
No, you have to go to court tomorrow, yes.
Well, okay, well then that's what... So,
I didn't say you weren't going. I just said that most likely he was going to reschedule your court if he still had trial going on. But he's still going to have to go there. He hasn't made it to the office. I've left him the message. He's seen the email we got. Can't force him to call you. I mean, he's been pretty busy this week. Like I said, he didn't make it to the office till yesterday, till after 5:30, and he had clients waiting for him before yesterday and same today.
Yeah, no, I get that he's busy, but I mean, so am I. We all are. I get it. It's the human condition dilemma. Can you please email me the email you got, since it is my lawyer in my case, and I'd like to see what this big protest mine is all this rigmarole and latest can you do that, please?
He can probably show it to you tomorrow. I'll let him know to bring it with him.
Yeah, but see, I'd rather see it now and know what it is now than this Johnny come lately stuff, because this has been unacceptable as well. He's a sweet man. He seems like a very educated man who knows what he's doing, and he seems very swamped. Okay, I'm not trying to knock his skills as an attorney here. It just seems to me that this is a little bit more than he has room for on his plate. And if that is the case, then I think, the entire situation is doomed to suffer for it from the onset, So I would just like to see the email now. I think I have that right. You are my counsel. This is his office. Please, I consent to thee to send unto me this email, about me, please.
Okay, we'll do that. Let me see. Let me get an email address for you. What's an email address?
Okay, I'll spell it all out. Jay, Dallas, spelled out, and Texas spelled out, Texas, Jay, Dallas, Texas, at hotmail.com.
Okay. We'll do.
Okay, will you send it right now, or? She hung up on me. Well, that what?
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again.
Gabriel? This is James Wright, your client.
James Wright, you know what time it is left?
Yes, and I've not been able to reach you all week, and you told me...
I have been in trial all week, and I'm in trial until Friday. I think you've been talking with my secretary. I'm in trial until Friday. Okay, I'm in trial now. I'm in 2204. Please don't call me by this time again. Thank you.